say 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
I wonder can somebody comment. It says, can't comment to groups. All right, obviously. I wonder can they hear us?
I don't even know.
It should pop up. Can they hear us? There's one person. Two. All right,
Where?
up there. I think. Can you
Um,
hear us? Can you
oh,
hear
I
us?
see. Yeah.
Can you hear us? Can somebody type yes?
Type yes or something.
Call in something, anything.
Two people.
Okay.
Okay? I wish I could see who's looking. Who are you? You hear yourself. Okay. Have you started recording yet?
No, it's like 22 minutes.
What?
The recording that you sent. Is that what we talking about?
No, I'm saying have you started recording the podcast yet? Outside of the live.
I did now. I just
Are you gonna start the music, babe?
I'm just going to add it later.
Okay.
Alligator. Let's see if they can hear us.
Okay, let me see if it's live on Facebook.
Yep.
And then if I can hear, I'll validate this.
Okay. That's
Okay.
all we need.
Oh, there's even subtitles.
Is it?
Yeah,
How?
like I can read it.
But you can't hear.
I
Can you
mean, I
hear?
didn't try. Oh shit! I think that it's not recording us off the mic. It's recording us through like the sound on here. So it sounds kind of far.
It don't sound clear.
No, I mean it sounds clear. I mean,
Clear enough to.
see.
Okay, I'm recording now. You don't have
Okay.
to.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to see how it works. Okay.
That's really clear.
It is clear, but
Yes,
it's not as clear as the mic.
it's
Right?
not going to be.
That's what I wanted.
Okay, all right.
Hey,
Hey,
hi.
it's late.
This is so fun to be live on YouTube.
Yes. How you been?
Honestly,
It's been a while for you. Good while, bad while.
just busy. You know, school and work and kids, vacationing and lifestyle. A lot going on.
Living your life like it's golden.
Living my life like it's golden. Living my
All
life.
right, you're gonna get us kicked off
I do not have the rights to that song.
at all. Anyways, let's dive right into things because we ain't got much time. It's late already.
Call us.
What?
I want somebody to call. I want
Me
to check
too,
the
man.
work.
Call in. Whoever it is, it's enough people in there. Somebody call in. Somebody don't be scared. Somebody call in. Call in.
While we wait for people to, open up, but
Yeah.
have you been able to the news?
Yes, I have. Like like what are we referring to?
Like several things. Like so,
Yup.
the
Well,
FedEx shooting, of course,
yes.
that was national news,
Yeah. So
right?
you know I heard about that. And everybody always talking about how crazy Indianapolis is, and it's not.
Well, I just looked up like the most dangerous places in Indianapolis, and
What is it? What area is it?
I mean typical areas. The only thing that kind of threw me off was Tuxedo Park, and I'm like, where is Tuxedo Park?
Yeah, where is that? Oh,
Where
I think we drove by there today.
did we?
Yes. Um, those apartments, and I was like, "What's the name of those apartments?" And I think I read Tuxedo Park. I forget where we was though. When we came from
Um,
Butler.
well, they're closer to down. It might be
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so I was just looking like where the most dangerous places like in the city, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we definitely are in one of the most dangerous places in the city. which is surprising to me because I feel like we have a pretty good neighborhood,
Yeah.
and I feel like we have like really good neighbors, and like it's a very working class area. And I was riding in the car with one of the kids, and I was like, this neighborhood looks scary, don't it? Right? And I was not this neighborhood that we're in,
Oh,
but we were driving. I took him to the doctor and stuff, and I'm like, this neighborhood looks scary, don't it? And I was like, you wouldn't want to walk in this neighborhood, would you? No, I wouldn't walk over here. But you wouldn't go outside in the dark, would you? But no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do it.
you talking about the Otis?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, but we were like off of Keystone. And I was like, believe it or not, this neighborhood is really not bad. Or it's impoverished. It's not a bad neighborhood.
Yeah.
But the bad
Well,
neighborhood,
that makes it. I think that makes it a bad neighborhood.
I mean, but they don't have like a lot. They don't have a very high crime rate in the area that we live
Ah.
in. Like the area that we were in, and the traffic was like backed up, so we were like kind of moving really slowly through the neighborhood. And like I'm like, this makes you uncomfortable, don't it? He was like, yeah, it does. And I'm like, this is actually not a bad neighborhood. You are safer here than you are at home.
Where were y'all at?
Like, Keystone,
I understand. I'm trying to think of where in Keystone would be that
like
bad.
we were driving 30, going south towards them,
Um.
and he was bad.
Yeah.
But it's really not that bad, I promise.
No, not at all.
So I'm gonna post this okay. So
You about to post what?
I'm gonna propose to people that we are live on YouTube.
Oh yes.
Okay, so outside of that shooting, right? Because obviously Indianapolis is a bad area or a bad city or a high crime city. Never really thought of it like that, but obviously it is.
Yeah.
Um, so we had the FedEx shooting at the
Yes.
FedEx near the airport, which number one surprised me because I know somebody who worked at the FedEx,
Yeah.
and she said that they have like TSA there.
Yes.
So it's like,
I've worked there
how
before.
have you?
Yes. That's the
Okay,
FedEx.
that you worked at like
Like
years ago,
yeah.
like we
That's
were
the
getting ready
one.
for
Yeah.
our wedding. Well, anyway, she was saying like the security there is so tight that
Yeah.
it's almost impossible for somebody. She said she would have to take off her earrings
Yes.
to
Like
go to work.
like you got to take your shoes off and everything.
Yeah.
But then I heard another story like where security isn't that tight anymore.
Oh, okay.
Like I've heard that it's like one older guy
Um,
and he's like don't have a weapon or anything.
and that's it.
That's it.
Well, the shooter, after he killed 8 people, ended up killing himself, which is really tragic because mm, it's just tragic. Mental illness is real, and whatever he was going through, like you have to be a little whacked out, right, to just go into
Yeah.
the headaches and to just be sick.
But his mother like tried to warn FBI like something's not right with him.
And he had got caught with the gun that he used last year. Yeah, last year, the gun that he used was confiscated, and they ended up giving it back to him because he bought it legally.
Um, what was it confiscated for?
Because he was crazy, I guess. Maybe somebody was telling him saying he was doing something
Oh,
crazy.
probably doing something crazy, and he still they like,
Right.
oh, we can't do nothing.
Yeah, it's legal. He's fine.
Yeah,
Right. And then this year, there was a mass shooting. 4 people injured, 8 people killed. And then the other thing that happened today.
which Walmart here?
Yes, Beach Grove.
Oh, that makes sense.
That's it.
Yeah,
I've
that
been to
is.
that Walmart, so
Yes, you have. It's
Beach
been
Grove, Walmart.
yes, yes, you have. Let me think. Let me think. You've been there before, but it's been shootings there before. That's not the first one.
Shut
Yeah, I
up.
remember somebody got shot like for a Craigslist deal or something like that.
What?
Yes,
That's crazy.
a couple years, a few years back. But did you hear about the Man, I just feel like we just spewing all this bad news.
I mean, that's a crazy first start to the conversation, but I don't know. I'm just thinking, like, this happens every year, though. When the
Yeah,
weather breaks, Like it seems like
It's
people get
always,
crazy a little
yeah,
bit.
it's always this, it starts off like that,
I'm
like some
just
off
like,
the wall type stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. But well, a basketball tournament in Ohio, uh, a coach and a parent got into it. They go outside and the parent shoots the coach in the head.
Shut up.
That happens today too. Yeah.
Oh my God. Can you
We
imagine? You're a coach.
yeah.
You've gotten a lot
I
of
just yeah,
angry parents.
yeah, parents are just angry. But that's just how people are about their kids though. Like you can't even I mean,
But is
it's
there a
just
separation though? Like,
no, because
I don't,
nobody holds their child accountable anymore. Well, some people do, but very rarely.
I think what's hard for me when it comes to like sports education and children is just, it's hard for me because I see them all separate. Whereas like you or like other parents that I know that have like, children that are in sports, like
Yeah.
it's all one. It's all one thing, right?
But I'm
Where
trying
it's like, okay, for me, because sports is separate, if you do something that's wrong, I'm taking away sports. But for a parent who plays sports and is a coach and you're completely vested in it, you're not take like you're gonna get in trouble and you're still gonna go to this game. You're gonna come home and you're gonna still be in trouble. But like to me, it's like you don't get to play.
yeah, but I don't necessarily agree with taking like the sports away. You take
I
away
know,
other things.
I know
Yeah.
you don't, but I feel like in order to get the best results,
No.
like you take away what's reinforcing, and sports are reinforcing to a child that loves sports, right? The video game is reinforcing to a child that loves video games. I'm not going to take the video game away from a child who don't play video games because it's not going to do anything. But if you
Yeah,
take away the one thing that they love to do, then it makes more. To me, it's more of an impact on their behavior. But
but people use sports are so structured. So when you take that structure out of someone's life, it's like it's idle time. So that's my whole thing with like taking like if somebody mess up in school, like don't take them out of sports because not only do you punish them, the coaches punish them as well. So tell the coach or relay what's going on with the coach, and it's kind of like the double whammy. But when you take somebody away from sports and say, oh, you're not gonna play sports, but you're just gonna sit at home and you gotta work 12 hours or however many hours you gotta work, and you gotta work a night shift. Then what? All that idle time is when normally when bad things happen. So I'm not for taking sports away. Now I mean now playing in the game and other stuff that can be different, but don't take sports away. Like
yeah,
not
and I expect that from you.
yeah.
Like sports is your life. Like
It's
that's
not my life,
it.
but it's
It
a
like if
big
people
part of
could
my
see
life.
this wall over here, it's all about sports. You have everything you have on is sports. Everything you do is sports. You just got done watching sports. Like you really are like completely like mentally, emotionally, and physically invested in sports. So for you, it's not different.
Yeah.
But for me, this is who the person is, and this is what the person does. They're not the same.
Yeah, but you're speaking from somebody who like never really played sports. So I
I'll
mean
never
you
really play sports.
I mean like you played but not like not
Hmm.
like your whole life or nothing like
No,
that.
not my whole life, but I played.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
and that's why I say there's a difference between sports parents versus like logical parents. So sports
yeah.
parents, they are going to get in your face, and they see this sport as their child's future. When what's the real percentage of these people who are investing all their time and money and energy into their child to do one thing? What's the actual percentage of that child being successful in it as an adult?
Yeah, but a lot of parents don't really like they're not doing it for like for them to be professional. They
Then
do it.
why go and cuss out the ref? Why cuss out the coach? Why shoot somebody in the head?
I'm not agreeing with that. So I'm not saying that that's okay. To me, that's never okay. But to say that people are like every parent is expecting their child to go to like be professional in their sport is not true. Like a lot of parents do it like for school. So like you invest money now so you don't have to invest in college because they get a scholarship and all those other good things. But I'm not saying that a parent should go cuss out a ref or cuss out a coach or anything. Like I think that you should just go to the game and watch.
Okay.
So you saying that I said that I'm okay with that?
What? I never said that you were okay with somebody doing that. Like I've seen you on every end of sports, right? You're a parent, you've been a ref, you've been a coach.
Yeah,
So you know multiple aspects and a player, right? So you know multiple aspects of different sports, right?
yeah.
So I feel like maybe you're a little bit more well rounded. So you see, like, I wouldn't want nobody to cuss me out, so I'm not gonna cuss the ref out, you know,
Yeah.
as a parent or even as a coach or even as a player, right? Because you've seen so many aspects of it. But I don't think that everybody sees every aspect of it when it comes to their child. How many times do parents switch their kid from one sport to one team to another because they don't like a certain coach or they don't like how much playtime their kid is getting or they don't like all these like really minuscule things when this kid could really be developing themselves, right? But now you have a personal problem, ego problem. Your kid ain't getting the shine that you want your kid to get, and boom, you move teams.
Parents do that.
Ah,
Yeah.
they do anything. Wow.
I don't do
Okay.
that. All right.
All right.
In other news, let's talk about something positive. Let's talk about something positive. You got
Okay.
anything positive?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Shoot.
I don't know. This might not be positive, but there's been a lot of hate around that guy. What's his name? Kevin Samuels. Recently,
Oh, the you ain't a 10, you a 2. Him.
yeah, that
Yeah.
guy. I don't know. I feel like that's really good feedback for women. I feel like okay. I personally feel like a lot of people, especially in westernized culture, have a heightened view of themselves. Right? That makes sense.
I mean, should we though? To a certain extent.
I personally don't agree with people having a heightened view of themselves. It's
Okay.
because to me it's unrealistic.
Yeah.
It's in a way delusional. So if you view yourself as um I don't know, I like to dance, but I see myself as Michael Jackson.
That's different though.
No, it's not.
I just think
Then that's the problem. It's not different because people really think
that they can
that they
dance
are.
like Michael Jackson.
Some people do. Some people, ooh, excuse me. Some people do think that they are a 10. If Mike is a 10, how are you a 10? Like how?
Dancing wise.
Period.
Period. Oh, okay.
And that's what I mean when I say a heightened view. If these people, these celebrities, if Kim K is considered a 10 for celebrities, for me she's not.
Yeah.
But if you just ask a group of men and the percentage will be high for her, right?
Yeah.
It'll be high for her as a 10, no matter how much is bought,
Right.
made, created, right? If she's a 10, how can this regular Joe Schmo girl from the west side of Cincinnati think that she is a 10?
What if she
That's
got
my problem.
what
Like,
if she get what if she has like natural beauty?
I'm okay with natural beauty. I just still think that, like, the reason why
So
I
you're
like
saying if you're
Kevin
a
Samuels,
I'm I'm sorry, go ahead.
the reason why I like Kevin Samuels is because he was realistic. Okay, yes, you can be beautiful, but are you on your shit? Like, do you have other things going for yourself other than being beautiful? And that's what I mean when I say people have this heightened sense of importance, because everybody thinks that, oh, okay, I look good, so I need to get flued out. No, boo. Like, you're 45. You're not getting flued out by the dude that you think you're gonna get flued out for. By, like he said, those men, those higher caliber men, that most people want, are 2% of the black male population.
Right.
So how do everybody think that they supposed to get him? Like, it's just, to me, it's not realistic. People don't see it. Nobody sees themselves as average.
Yeah.
And ain't nothing wrong with average. Average is still passing. You still have some beautiful kids. You can have a beautiful life. You can still have a very happy marriage. But if you are a 45-year-old, just got your body redone, and your kids are grown, and you got your grandkids staying there, and then you think you're supposed to get flued out because you bad, like, to me, that just don't make sense. It just,
So my question is, why does he get so much like slack? Like why do everybody hate him?
everybody hates Kevin Samuels because he is blunt and he tells his truth.
And black men aren't allowed to do that, right?
He actually made a point about that. He
You
actually
did?
made a, yes. He said that Simon, is it Simon from not The Voice, American Idol.
Okay, yeah.
Simon from American Idol
He's
can
not on
tell.
there no more, but
Okay, old American
oh,
Idol.
okay. Yeah.
Simon will be blunt with people. You can't sing, get off my stage, whatever the fuck you gotta say, he'll say
Yeah.
it, right? Watch your profanity. You didn't push a button.
Oh man. My bad. Okay.
But Simon could be extremely blunt with these people, and nobody said, "Oh, Simon, don't talk to people like that. You're hurting their feelings."
Yeah.
But this is his profession. He takes it very seriously, and if he feels like somebody's wasting his time, he let them know. Well, this man is the same thing, right?
Yeah.
His profession is image consulting. So people go to them to say, "Hey, how's my image? How can I improve myself to get the type of love life that I want?"
Right.
And not just, it's just not with only women, it's also with males too. And so I went through and I was just watching his videos and stuff like that, because I truly wanted to know, like, what all does he say? Like, how is he? Like, is he just being, is he just being a dick, or is he just telling his truth?
True.
And
Yeah.
to me, when it was a woman, like, if I look at that woman, the way he kind of graded them, I kind of graded them. I was like, oh, well, maybe she's.
Is that like the video that you sent me? Because I did see
I
that
sent you several videos.
no, so
I sent you
all
some on, like, Instagram.
oh,
I
okay,
sent text
yeah.
messages. I was sending them to a lot of people though, because I wanted to have this conversation.
Yeah. But my thing, I only got the one from the text message. I didn't,
Okay.
yeah. So but you know what made me feel like good is when we was in the car and you was like, "Hey, do you know Kevin Samuels?" And I was like, "What did I say?" I was like, not really. I don't know." And then you started naming some of the stuff. I was like, "Oh yeah, I know him. I just didn't know him by like
His
by
name.
his name." And you was like, "He said some of the same stuff you say." You remember that part?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Oh, so I guess it's validated now." Now that
No,
I
it's not that it was validated, because I believed you when you said it,
yeah,
right? And when you said it, like, I questioned it.
yeah,
I played that little, and the same thing I did with him. Like, I questioned his stuff. I had to go back and look at 100 videos until I said, "Oh, okay, this is truly his character. This is really how he is."
yeah,
And the reason why I appreciate it is because, like I was saying to you, very rarely are people comfortable with being 100% straightforward, right?
right.
And so when you were vulnerable with me and you told me some of the things that he said, I had to take a step back and try to listen to you without being offended, right?
Wait, hold on. I didn't say that because he said it. I just said that off my.
No, I'm saying before I even heard of him. These are things that you
Oh,
said to me probably years ago, right?
okay, yeah,
So it's like, oh, you've actually said this to me before. So it's not that he necessarily validated. It's just that I had never heard anybody say it outside of an intimate relationship where you were being
oh,
extremely vulnerable and open with me. And
yeah,
so when you see another person do that, especially a black man he comes off very aggressive. He cuts women off. Like, he can be very misogynistic. I did not like that about him. I'm like, he's like, you ain't gonna talk to me like that. He definitely comes off as, sort of femme. I'll say that. But the things that he
but
was
why?
saying as
What
far as
what
like,
makes him come off as feminine?
he kind of had a knack to him to me. Like, he is a little. Like certain women. Like there was
So are
one
you
woman.
saying that only women nag?
No, I'm not, but I'm saying it's a feminine quality
How though? Like who
because
who
there's
determined
masculine.
that?
I mean, there's masculine and positive. I mean, masculine and feminine, negative and positive, white and black. I mean,
I see
that's
what you're
just.
saying, but basically what you're saying is complaining is only a woman's trait.
I'm saying that complaining is more common in women. Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
Everybody complain though.
Everybody complains, but when it comes to nagging, I feel like that is a female trait. That is not. It's not very common. You'll see a man go back and forth with a woman, right? It's not very often you'll see a man just sit there and nag, 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 nag at a woman. That doesn't happen. But how many times do you see a woman nag, 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 nag? How many men complain about their wives nagging, their mothers, their sisters, their daughters?
Yeah.
That's what women do, right? We have these feelings and we say it, right? And men
Yeah.
don't know how to say their feelings as well as women in most cases,
Right.
and they are accustomed to holding it all in. Well, with him, he wasn't holding it in, and he wasn't being emotional about it. He was being very rational. He was being very realistic, and he was being very straightforward. And me personally, I like raw, uncut information
To a certain extent.
to a certain, depending on my. If it's something that's emotional for me, for instance, when I found out that my daughter was autistic, right?
Yeah.
When I found out she showed signs of autism, no, everybody couldn't tell me that. Like anybody couldn't tell me that. The person who actually told me like was her child care provider,
Yeah.
and she's probably the only person who could tell me like I'm seeing these signs and blah blah blah, right? And I could perceive that from her because you spend time with her, you see how she is with her peers, and you've been doing this job for 20 plus years. I trust you,
Yeah.
but it was still a hard conversation for me versus if it were somebody else saying it, but like, you don't know her, you don't know me. Like, I would have instantly been offended. I
Right.
would have popped off.
Yeah. That's kind of a slippery slope though. Like the as far as the only receiving information from certain people. Like, so how do you know? Like, how does someone know in your life to know? Like, I can tell her this, or I can give her this information.
Like I said, it depends on the information. Like, if it's something that is very like personal to me, my daughter is personal.
Yeah.
That's my child, right? So you can't just say anything to me about my kid. I
Yeah.
can't say anything to you about your kid. But
Right.
if it's something that a quality or something I need to enhance, or just any like if somebody says something like, "What's wrong with you?" and you actually say, "Oh, this, and this is bothering me," like I appreciate that bluntness. I appreciate that vulnerability that people offer when they're completely 100% honest.
Yeah.
And to me personally, if you can do that, then I feel like our relationship is better,
Right.
right? Because I can trust you, you can trust me, and it's just better. It's just better.
Yeah. But today you said something like that really was like caught my attention when you said women playing for like we ain't gonna say art
Confrontations.
confrontation debates, and I was like, you do? You said yeah. You said some women even like a practice in the mirror.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm sure you've seen different shows, like, for instance, Insecure, right?
I've never seen that.
Insecure with Issa Rae. Many, very many scenes, Issa Rae is in the mirror, like doing her
But
rap
I
or practicing how a dialogue is going to go.
but I just thought that was just kind of like get you like kind of like just get it out like I want to do this to so it don't build up. So
No,
like that's like you like getting ready for like the like so you getting ready for like the actual like thing.
I wouldn't say the getting ready for the actual thing, but um, I do think that when it comes to women and confrontations or something that is bothering them, they do play it over and over again in their head. Most women do. They play the scenario in their head. They figure out like which way the scenario is gonna go. Because most women typically are planners, right? They think about things ahead of time, especially if you're like a parent,
Yeah.
right? I can't make Ellie's lunch the morning of. I have to make her lunch. I need to get everybody's clothes out. I need to prepare for if somebody's having a bad day. What type of reinforcement am I going to give them to make them feel better? What song am I going to play? Like, I need to prepare everything up front because I don't need any hiccups when I'm getting out this door in the morning. It's the same thing. If I'm having a confrontation at work and I know that I'm going to address it, I'm going to have a list of stuff written out
Yeah.
because I want you to see, like, this is how I feel too. Now it's not like I'm not going in there with my combat boots and ready to pop off, but I am mentally prepared for whatever is about to happen. I don't feel like that's only a woman thing. I feel like a lot of men do that too. But you like it's almost like when you I don't know, you're about to see somebody that you don't like, right? I mean, you ever been in a situation you don't like somebody, right? Or
I
a
don't play.
teammate.
Yeah,
You never
but
had a teammate you didn't like, or a coach you didn't like, or a confrontation with a teacher, or a
yeah,
family member you had to go around that you didn't like. Nothing.
yeah, but I don't think I've ever like sat in the mirror and practiced like
No,
what I'm gonna say to him.
no, you might not practice in the mirror, but you gonna play in your mind like, I know that she gonna ask me this, and when Auntie Boozy Doo asks me this, I'm gonna say this.
Is it a woman out there that can call in and verify this for me? I see we got a few people watching. Can
Or is
someone?
if there's anybody that can call in and verify that this happens, not just with the women, but with
Well,
people.
I'm telling you, I don't know no man that.
Because men don't admit stuff like this. What man is gonna say? Yeah, bro, I'll go practice in the mirror before I get into it with my girl because I gotta get my words together. No, you don't. You're not gonna do
Can
that.
a woman call in and verify this? That y'all, you playing your argument. We said we ain't gonna say argument, but can somebody, call in and verify this? Anybody? Yeah, I see why. I'm starting to see why. Like the more wise I get about women, I see why. A lot of time y'all drive yourself crazy doing stuff like that. So then, what happens when
It's
like
always women driving themselves crazy. Who were the shooters in these last two instances? Men.
I mean that was probably because
What movie were we watching earlier where you could see the person's thoughts?
yeah,
What was the name of that movie?
I don't know, but it was a good movie
It
though.
was a great movie. And the main character was what? Going crazy. And the girl, the woman, could see his thoughts. And who was calming him down?
But do you know why you couldn't see the woman thoughts?
Oh, here we go.
it
Why? Why
wouldn't
Edward
be.
X?
It wouldn't. Hey, listen, it wouldn't be enough screen time if they was playing the women thoughts. But did you see the man thoughts though? Like the man was just like, I am John. What was his name? I am John Hewitt. I am John Hewitt.
No, he
Oh,
was doing that so he could distract
but
himself
no,
so
but
people
his
would not
thoughts,
hear his real thoughts.
his thoughts was only like simple things. Like, hey, don't look. Oh, I shouldn't have thought that. Like, oh,
No, you're being dramatic.
I'm not being dramatic.
You are, though. Just go watch the movie. What's the name of the movie?
I don't know. Let's look it up. What is the name of what was the kid saying? It was like, oh, that's Peter Parker. So, what was the name of that movie? I'm just gonna say. I don't even know what to look up, man.
I'm looking up Spider Man. I'm gonna figure out
Spider
what his
Man.
real name is, and I'm gonna figure. Spider Man cast Tom Holland
Is that his name?
and
Tom Holland?
Tom Holland movies. It's not Cherry. Chaos Walking.
Chaos Walking. Yes.
Now, in this movie, just so we're clear, I'm not gonna give like the whole story, but the base of the story is they are on a planet, or the Earth
The new
changed.
planet.
It's a new planet, or is it Earth? Either way, it's
No, it's just
evolved where the people, the men on the planet, all um, be exposed by their thoughts. Their thoughts literally come out of their head. You can hear what they're thinking. You can see what they're thinking. You can see the images and everything. But the women, on the other hand, you can see their thoughts. And so that's what we're talking about. We're talking about how like he was literally like going crazy, especially when he lost his dog, right? And you want to sit there and play this like, oh, we're so masculine, masculine, masculine. And I literally asked you, I said, like he was sitting there like trying to
Not show
he was
emotions.
trying not to show his emotions because he knew that he was his thoughts. So in any time that he was going to be exposed by his thoughts, he would say the same thing over and over again, which is, um, "My name is John Hewitt. I'm John. I'm John Hewitt. I'm John Hewitt. I'm John Hewitt." And he thought that if he continued to think that, then people couldn't see what he was really thinking, right? And so he would do this several times throughout the movie. And there was a specific scene when his dog died, and he tried to do that, and she was just like trying to comfort him, but he was continuously trying to hide his feelings. And I said to you, is this really like how
What
y'all
men
think?
do.
Like, do you really try to hide your feelings?
What did I say?
And you say, yeah.
Because
Because he was like, I'm a man. Men don't cry. Suck it up. I'm John Hughes. Don't cry. I'm John. I'm like, why is
but
he doing that? Like, why not just cry and get it over with?
because men are taught that not never to show emotions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So men are taught never to show emotions, meaning they hold it all in and then they go crazy.
Yep.
Not the other way around.
Yeah. I mean, but in order for you to drive somebody that crazy, they got to be a real crazy individual doing that
No, not really. You can just have a lot of pent up stuff. Childhood,
for a long
adolescence,
time.
adults,
Pent up stuff for a
parenting.
long time.
Yeah. Traumas, triggers,
Yeah.
going untreated, and then boom, you pop, you explode.
Yeah.
Not because of the wife, not because of the kids, not because of the job, but because multiple untreated instances where you should have gotten help, and he needed help. He found out information about his mother and all these other things that was happening in his life. It was like a pivotal moment. The movie was a huge pivotal moment for him, going from being the youngest person in his colony to now being a man and having to protect a woman, and feeling like he had these new masculine desires,
Yeah.
right? And he was trying to be everything that was planted in his mind was, you're a man and don't cry. We kill, we protect, we destroy. And he was playing that over and over in his mind, even though he was feeling a different way. Well, the difference is most women will say, this is how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And if they can't say those words, like, I'm feeling this way, they're going to show you, whether it's silent treatments or crying or shutting down, because that we've been, programmed to, we're emotional.
Yeah.
Whereas a man, you want to continue to hide these feelings, right? Nothing's wrong.
And then we explode.
It's like nothing's wrong, never. Your body language is saying otherwise.
That brings me to my next point where I saw a post where it said men are always taught how to treat a woman. And then that's when I ask you, when have you ever heard someone say, tell, a woman how to treat a man? You want to elaborate on that?
I would like for you to elaborate. Like, what were you taught on how to treat a woman?
I mean, I was taught that from the time that I can remember.
Like what?
Uh,
What
like
specifically were you taught?
just to, just do manly things like hold the door open, just be a gentleman, hold the door open for her, take care of a woman, always be the protector, you know, the usual that every man was
I don't feel
taught.
like that's usual because I don't feel like men know how to protect women. I don't feel like all men are chivalrous doors. And I don't feel like
They may not be it, but they
all men
know.
know how to provide.
Yeah.
It's a big half and half
Yeah, but I think I don't. I think
culture.
it's people. It's the knowing and doing is different. Like they may not do it, but they know.
What's the saying go? If you knew better, you do better. So maybe they don't know.
I mean, but how many people know better and still don't do it?
But maybe they really don't know.
That's not true. Like a lot, like people know that if I'm doing meth every day, they know better. They know they shouldn't be doing meth every day.
But if this person is a meth addict, right, that means they started with something else. They didn't just wake up one day and say, hey, I'm going to try meth. They started with maybe drinking at an early
But
age,
that's not
smoking
always
weed,
true
doing.
though.
No, it's not. But if it starts off with other things and other self healing properties, it leads up to that. To them, what they're doing is really not that bad. And you know addicts.
Okay, but what
I
if
know
they start
addicts.
off with meth? Like, what if they say, "Oh, I'm gonna try meth because it's peer pressure"?
Then
Then what?
obviously they don't know it's bad if they allow somebody to pressure them to do it.
So that just goes back to my point that people know better, they just don't do better.
If they knew better, then they wouldn't try it. Can somebody try make you try meth?
But peer pressure can make anybody do
Then
anything.
that means you don't know. If you can let somebody else tell you to do something that you know you ain't supposed to do, then obviously you don't really know the consequences of your actions.
Mm, so what you're saying is no one should never ever be able to talk you into anything,
If you know better, then people can't talk you into it.
not even your parents.
If you know better, if you know that this is not what you want, you
That's
know
not
that
what
this
I'm
is not.
saying. I'm saying what you're saying is nobody should never be able to
No,
talk you
that's
into
what you are
anything.
saying.
I'm asking.
Okay, and I was specific.
Okay, so I'm asking you. So nobody should never be able to tell you anything, is what you're saying.
Nobody should be able. You're changing my whole phrase here to something to make sense for you.
No,
And
I'm
I'm
not.
saying
I'm not
exactly
trying
what
to
I
make it
mean.
make sense for me because I understand. You're saying
I said
that if you,
exactly what I
but you're
meant.
saying though, if you know better, you'll do better.
Yeah.
And you said, and what I'm telling you is people know better. Like people know that they should do certain things. Like dudes know that they should take care of their kids and they don't. Like that's so
But if they daddy didn't do it for them,
that don't
then maybe
mean
they
nothing.
don't know the real
Then you,
consequences
but
of
then
not
you,
doing better.
but they should though. If they father didn't take care of them, how did they turn out? How was your life? Like how did you feel about those moments of your father not taking care of you? So you know better because you went through it.
Well, that's because I personally feel like something was wrong. But if you literally see something happen and you don't know that it's wrong or you don't see anything wrong with it, then you don't technically know better if you continue it. Obviously, you don't know. To know means to do better because you know now. I'm not going to touch the skillet with my bare hand twice, right? I'm going to do it once and I'm going to say, ouch, I don't want that to happen again. I'm not going to do it again. But if somebody just says, hey, that skill is hot, that skill is hot, that skill is hot, that skill is hot, yes, I know, but I don't know. I've never experienced it. And it's the same thing with other things, drugs, parenting, however else you want to see it. If somebody continuously to tell you something, a lot of people have to learn from experience. You can't just tell me, oh, don't eat the fruit
I
off the
mean,
tree.
but you going through it, that ain't enough experience.
Every meth addict don't hasn't gone through it.
I'm
Every
not
meth
talking
addict.
about meth. I'm just talking about anything in general. Like I said, it being a parent, or I mean, what else can you like? People know, like you know, you shouldn't speed, right? Like you know, you shouldn't speed.
If I ain't never got a ticket, then I don't see a
Have you? But
consequence.
I'm no,
There's no consequence of my
I'm
action.
talking about you in general. You know, you shouldn't speed, right?
Okay.
Yes,
Hmm.
like you know, you shouldn't speed.
I know that
Do you
there's
still
speed limit.
speed?
Yes.
So like, so do you? My point exactly. Like you know better, but you still.
Okay. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
But if there's no consequence to my action, then I'm gonna keep doing it. Right.
Yes.
If nothing happens, I'm gonna do it again.
Until something happens.
If a kid knows not to cuss and nothing happens when they cuss, what they gonna do? They're gonna cuss because nothing's gonna happen. There's no consequence for this action. So even though I know as a kid, I'm 5 and I know I'm not supposed to cuss, well, I'm gonna cuss anyway right now because it's how I feel.
Yeah.
And nothing's gonna happen to me. Therefore, next time I feel this way, I'm gonna do it again. And I'm gonna do it again, I'm gonna do it again because there's no consequence to the action.
Well, what about when you do have a consequence to it
And
and he
that's
gets in
when you
trouble?
know. That's when you know that this ain't what I want.
But then they still curse though.
Woo.
I'm just saying I'm not saying like somebody in particular. I'm just saying like
If you get your license taken away because you're speeding and you know better than speeding, It's a huge chance that you're not gonna be speeding in that same area again. Why? Because you know that's where you got pulled over last time. You lost your license, and now you got to pay all these extra fees every month
But
for
if you
insurance and all
lost
this
your
other stuff.
license, you
So
shouldn't be
now,
speeding at all anymore. Cause
well,
you know better. You know, like it
now you
don't.
know better because you have a consequence. That's my point.
But what I'm saying is people still speed.
When it comes to men and them knowing how to treat women, I don't miss. If y'all have been taught very early on to how to treat women, that is a huge shock to
But
me
I'm
because
not
I
saying.
I know too many men
But
that don't know how to treat a
but
woman.
I'm not talking about actually doing. I'm just saying, how often do you hear that?
What, open the door for a
No,
lady?
I'm talking about treat a woman right. Like a man should learn how to treat a woman. You hear that all the time. You very rarely hear a woman how to treat a man.
Who would you hear somebody saying how to treat a man? Who would you hear that from? Who would
Well,
tell you? You're a
well,
man, so you don't know what they're telling us.
well, we can't do that now. Well, we can't go off me being a man. I'm just
I
saying.
can
But
because
I asked you this earlier, and you agreed with me.
I'm telling you now though. How can you say what a woman is taught if you're not there?
Well, I have sisters. I have cousins. I have I have a mother. I have a grandmother. I never heard her mother say this.
Okay, but don't you have moments where you sit and talk to your boys in private?
Yeah,
So women have those same moments.
but I'm just saying. But I'm just asking. I'm not saying don't
Okay.
attack the messenger. I'm just asking when
Okay, and I don't.
when
Number one, I don't think that men are treat women.
okay.
So if y'all are taught and everybody know better, then
Do
everybody's
do
doing a
you think
horrible
women
job.
know how to treat men?
No,
Uh, maybe we
I
just
do
don't know.
think that very early on, women are taught how to take care of the house
Yeah,
from a very young age. Right, 5, you learn how to wake up and make sure that you keep your room clean. And the grandparents in your family tell you cleanliness is close to God, is close to godliness. And you're taught very early on how to change diapers for your little cousins or little siblings and little nieces and nephews. You're taught very early on to babysit. You're taught very early on how to cook, chop the vegetables for dinner, what recipes go with what, how to cook certain things. You're taught very early on how to take care of your yard, how to look after your siblings. Very many times, females, the female in the family, whether it's one female or multiple, whoever the oldest female in the family, as far as sibling goes, is always in charge of the kids. Even if there's a male that's older, it's always the oldest female that's in charge of all of the siblings. And that's where I feel like people drop the ball. And I feel like we had this conversation earlier too. We were like, man, we give these younger kids such a hard time because we make them look after each other. Every any move, one make, they all go together. We went to the park, they migrated around the whole park together because we've trained them for years and years and years. Everybody stays together.
yeah,
We didn't train the oldest ones like that. So the oldest one will come home, the other sibling will be down there on the corner. Another one will be in the house on the roof. Like, he doesn't understand that concept because he never had that responsibility. Versus another child who was completely vested in always being in a teen sibling environment.
yeah,
So yes, I do think that parents try to teach your children how to be in relationships. But for women, from my personal experience, it was never like, this is how you treat a man. No, I can't speak for every woman. I
yeah.
wasn't raised around men. But I was taught to cut my brother's pancakes and his steaks and his pork chops. And I was taught to, if he needed something, I had to go find it for him. And I had to cater to all of his needs because that's what the women in my family did with me. They catered to their needs. I had a cousin, I remember when I was younger, I remember my aunt sitting down and doing his job applications for him and stuff like that. And it's like, I know so many women that cater to their men in that way where they're doing things for them and not with them. And it turns into a very mother and son relationship versus a man and wife.
Right.
And then you say, oh, well, women don't know how to take care of a man. Well, to us, we are taking care of you like a child. We come behind you, pick up your clothes, and put them in the dirty clothes for you. We washing out your dish. We wiping off the table when you get done, picking up your trash, picking up the kids' trash. We're doing all the things that we were taught to do. Take care of the house and the people that are in it. Not, no, my grandma ain't saying, make sure you ride your husband's dick every night. No, she's not going to say that.
Golly, girl.
She's not going to say that, but it is like ingrained in him to take care of the home.
Yeah.
And I
That
don't feel
may
like
be the
men are
problem.
taught that. If men were
Nah.
taught how to take care of the home and women were taught how to take care of the home, I don't think we would have as many divorces, and I don't think we have so many women and men who are so old and single still trying to figure out how to do it. So
Yeah.
many people. How many people do you know our age that's never been in a long term relationship, never had, and don't have no kids? Sometimes it's not because they don't want kids. Sometimes
It's
they don't
probably
know
because they
how to
can't.
be with other people.
And that too.
Why do you think everybody can't have kids? What is
Because I
woo?
just think like if you
The soldiers ain't swimming.
why I gotta be that?
Exactly. I knew you was gonna do that, so it had to be the women there, right?
I mean, it could be both.
Oh, look at you. Now gotta be
But
both.
I'm just thinking
Woo!
though, 70,000 some soldiers.
You don't know how many eggs women have, did you?
I don't. I know
I
how
didn't think you did.
you didn't know how many sperm cells a man had, neither did you until I just told you. I didn't think you did.
Mm-hmm.
How many eggs they have?
I don't know.
So
I
you
ain't
don't
think.
even know.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna name one, it ain't the other. But you always just sound so sexist. Like it's
I
always
don't at
about the men, and
all.
it's always with the women don't know how to treat men.
I didn't say.
We're
I
taught
never
very early
said
on
that.
how to
You
treat.
said you're the one that said
We
that.
are
You're the
taught
one.
how to treat a woman by
Listen.
holding doors. Most women don't care about you holding no door.
So I don't never have to hold the door for you again.
I didn't say that. See, you see how you always
Oh,
twist and stuff. All I
oh.
said was most women don't care about that.
What name? One.
Women do not care.
They
Listen,
don't.
can you hear
I
me?
hear you. So
Oh,
you're saying they don't.
you
Women.
cannot hear.
I really can.
No,
Say
you
it
can't.
again. Say it one more
The
time.
things that women value, most of them don't get in relationships. And
Like
it don't
what?
got nothing to do with holding a door.
Like what?
Like actually protecting them.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
That's all there is to that.
Yeah.
Women care about being protected. Like for real, being protected. Every woman wants a man that don't play about her.
Yeah.
So they want to feel like when it comes to me, it don't matter what it is, my husband is going to go all the way for me. Most men don't know how to do that for women,
Yeah.
right? Women want somebody who's loyal to them. Most men talk to their mama about they partner. That doesn't feel very loyal to a woman. It feels like you're going. It feels like you're going behind their back,
Yeah.
and then it feels like, well, can I trust you? Can I trust you with this information? Can I trust you with my feelings? Can I trust you for us to have this vulnerable moment because I know you're gonna go tell your mama.
I don't. I've never heard of. I mean, I've heard of some mama boys, but
You used to be a mama's boy.
used to. I used to be a lot of stuff. Used to don't count
Why? You say
because
you
if I'm
heard of
not,
mamas like you don't know like
no,
you
I'm then. I'm
experienced
then
it.
never say that I've never heard of it. That's why I stopped myself. But I'm just saying like I don't necessarily think that every man does that. I just think that
I don't think every man does, but I just think that the things that women value are not the things that are taught at home.
all right. I'm trying to think how you got there.
Because we were talking about how men are taught how to treat women, and women you don't think women are taught how to treat men.
I'm not saying that. I was just asking like how often do you hear that?
How often do we hear how to treat a man?
Yeah.
Very often, once you have one.
I'm talking about like a
But before
man.
you have a man, most like I wasn't. Before I was in a committed relationship, it wasn't like, hey Sierra, you should do this for him.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when we were working together, and there was this one lady who used to sit near me, and she was so like I love her so much. I need to call her matter of fact. But there was a lady who used to sit next to me, and I was pregnant at the time, and I was about to be on maternity leave because I was having all those problems or whatever. But she was telling me like what to do, like once I was home, right? So she was like saying stuff like, "Hey, keep yourself up. You know, make sure you still, if you have this baby, make sure you still, pleasure your man. Don't let the house go right while he's going to work every day and you at home. Like just giving me these little like tidbits. Like if you go out to eat, bring him something back. Little stuff that I just wasn't thinking about. Like I wasn't thinking like I'm at a restaurant with my friends. Like you don't want this. Like you just don't think to say, oh well, I'm not to when I leave Fridays, I'm gonna bring him his favorite dish. Just little stuff like that. Like she just throw at me just little tidbits, little tidbits like that, and it was just like I didn't get that information prior to actually being in it.
Yeah.
Like nobody said, "Hey Sierra, make sure you keep your nails and toes done." You didn't like that. Make sure you something to see. You know, I can't hear. Did my thing die?
No,
I can't hear nothing.
you can't hear nothing.
No,
You can't hear nothing.
I just heard you. But yeah, like nobody ever said, like make sure you're something to see. Make sure, because nobody tells you when you're younger. Men are visual, right? They're visual people, so they want to see you look good.
That's not necessary. Like we
You don't want to see me
people
look
got the
good.
yeah, but that's not every like
No, it's
not
not
all men, but
everything.
just the
I didn't say it was everything.
I know, but the
I
just the
named several things that she said.
no, you didn't. You just said that she said what you just basically said that oh, men are visual, and that's not the case for all men.
I literally just named several things that she said. That is not the case for every men.
I understand that, but
So
what
like,
I'm
why
just
you
saying,
nitpick on that one?
I'm not nitpicking on it. I'm just saying you just blanket us like oh, men are visual.
I literally named several blanket topics.
Okay,
Not all men care if the house is clean. Not all men care if you cook dinner. Not all men care if you stay at home and don't do nothing.
right. All right. Anything else?
Dang, anything else? See, this is why I prefer to do my homework.
You could have. I said.
Anything else? Like, dang, girl.
No, I'm not saying like anything else like that. I'm just saying like I know we had a lot of stuff to talk about, and
I just want to know.
yeah,
Is this how you end your podcast when you have like all men on?
I'm not ending the podcast.
Well,
I'm just
anything
saying.
else? I'm just saying it's a difference. This fruit and this wine is very good.
So what else did you?
I'm gonna just be quiet because obviously I'm blinking and in and all that.
Well, you
I don't
were
want to hear.
when you said that they were visual. Like everything else that you had mentioned was just things to do, and then you said, "Well, men are visual. Like men are visual." And I was just trying to help you out and just say, "Men aren't just visual." Like
Okay.
I think that's the only like that's the one thing that you said that kind of like
And all men don't care about a house being clean.
right.
Some people don't care if the house is
So
dirty.
I just think the disconnect between me and you is you're talking about something that you're doing, and when you said that men are visual, to me that's different. Like you're talking about two different things.
Okay.
So like when you said men are visual, like you should say men are visual. They're mental. Like you see what I'm
All
saying?
men aren't mental.
But a lot are.
Not all of them.
But I'm just saying a lot are though.
Some are emotional. Some
Yes.
men are very emotional.
Men
Some
are
men are visual.
emotional. Men are you see what I'm saying now?
Mm-hmm. Some
Yeah,
men are
that's what I meant.
liberal.
Like, yes, that's kind of what I meant. Like, I don't know if you was gonna go there or you was gonna keep on going, but just like, oh, men are visual. Like that's the
I think, and
misconception. That's the misconception of
what's
women have that like just men are just visual.
okay? Then fix that for me. What do
I
you
think I
think?
just did when I just told you like men are mental, they're emotional.
Okay, so
Like
do
they,
you think that in more cases, that men see a woman that looks good and that's what they want? In more cases than not,
yeah,
does a man see a woman that looks the way that they would like them to look, and then that's the person that they pursue?
they pursue, and then once they pursue and they get it, do you keep that man? How do you keep that man? And it's not
They
off the
pursued
looks.
you.
Yeah,
They pursued you.
yeah. Okay. So your looks got
I'm
my
not
attention.
talking about how they stay together. I'm
Yeah,
saying, is a man visual? So you see something you like and you pursue it.
yeah.
How often does a woman see something that she likes and pursue it? Not very often. Very many times a woman pursues
Women do
something.
the same exact thing. Like if
Many
they,
times women pursue things that make them feel a certain way.
so does men.
Okay, more often than not, though, you just said that a man can see a woman that looks the way that he would like her to look, and
Yeah,
he can pursue that. That's more cases than not. But for a woman, they can see something that they like, but if it does not give her the feeling that she wants, then it doesn't matter.
right.
Most women do not go hard to do just because of the way they look. There's normally something else. Something that they did, something that they said, something that they saw. And then that's what will make them say, oh, okay. You see a dude, the ugliest dude in the club, sitting over there buying all these girls' bottles. That girl is not going to see, oh, he's the ugliest dude in the club. She's going to see he's buying all these people bottles. She's interested. He got money. That's what I mean. Men are like, oh, she got a body. She got titties. She got a booty. She got long hair. Her skin looks nice. This is the kind of person that I want if that's your ideal girl. You look at that and you say, okay, that's what I want. That's what I'm going to go pursue.
So how would you describe a woman then? Like how
I
would you?
just told you, a woman
I know,
sees
but
something.
so would she be materialistic? Like women are materialistic.
You said that. I did not
I'm
say that.
I'm
I
asking.
said
I'm
it's
just
a feeling. I said it's something that she sees, something that she feels, or something that she's experienced with a man. Right? So it could be a coworker, it could be a janitor, it could be somebody at the drive-through, it could be at a restaurant, and anything. It could be his charisma. It could be different things. For a woman,
and you
it's
don't
not
think,
always.
but you don't think that can be the case for a man and a woman. Like you
I
don't
didn't
think.
say it can't be the case. I said more often than not. If we're talking
But
about a
how do you
scale,
know that though?
if how do I know that men
Yeah,
approach women based on the way they look?
yeah.
Facts,
But what facts are you going off of?
life, experience.
But you're not a man, so how do you
No, but
know what a man?
I've been approached based on the way I look. You don't know me. You don't know if I'm crazy, slow, dumb. You don't know if I have a job. You don't know if I'm married. You don't know if I have kids. You don't know anything about me, but you see me walk
So
into
you're
this gas
saying
station
majority of the
and
men
you,
approach you just by the way you look.
yes,
What does that say about you?
that means that they don't know me. I don't know a lot of men. I don't work with a lot of men. I don't see a lot of men. So, in order for a man to approach me, it will be based on what they see. You don't hear me talk. My face is half covered. You just see me and you try to talk to me. Based on what? Based on what you see. I could be a bitch and you just approach me. A woman, she's gonna see, oh, this man is so calm. He's handsome and he's out here just feeding the ducks. Let me go sit and talk to him. A man don't have to see a woman do extra stuff.
Yeah,
Do you agree that most men approach women on based on how they look?
yeah, I do, but
And I don't think that's how women approach men, based on my experience.
yeah. So like, why you so quiet?
Why are you so quiet?
What else did we say we want to talk about?
Are you kidding me?
What?
Are you for real?
For real about what?
What else did we say we want to talk about?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Lee, give us some positive words before we get out of here.
Follow me, Coco PT,
And what does that? What does that entail?
on Instagram.
Like, what do they get for following
Nothing yet, but I have a few things in
you?
store. So follow me. I have a book that'll be dropping pretty soon.
Yeah,
And
that's big time.
I have a few things up my sleeve. So yeah, follow me.
There you go. This was good.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, everybody, that's gonna be it for us. It's late. We'll be back at it again soon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And remember, everybody, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. Why you acting like that?
I feel like what?
Like you just stop talking and you just like, I don't know, I just feel like